Nice! Good segue.
Great way to start a video. That's how we should start this one.
Welcome to WWE Law! We're so pumped you can clearly tell! Hello everybody, and welcome to a special vlog. This is our first WWE, well actually, I guess it won't be just WWE, it'll cover most wrestling that we decide to cover, but for the first vlog here, we're going to do last week's Monday Night Raw and that SmackDown, which was, I can't remember the date exactly, but if you're watching this now, like, that week before, so that would be, you know, can't remember the date though, but either way, it doesn't matter.
January
8th?
No.
13th
was Friday?
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter anyway, because what we're going to talk about, you'll remember it. So, let's get this started. So, first thing on the card was the whole Authority coming out. First thing. You had... Well, actually, it was funny because all the wrestlers that were going to be in the Royal Rumble were already standing on stage.
There,
yeah. And, yeah, so you hear Vince's music come out, and he comes down with Steph, and right away I'm like immediately disgusted with Steph because she thinks she's got the strut.
I can't stand her.
You actually pointed out that she looked actually good Monday
until she opened her mouth.
Steph, if you're watching this, we do appreciate the business in a way that we don't hate.
Oh, he does.
Shut up. But you know, just some things you do. And we can't be the only person who have said this to you. But yeah, anyway. Moving on.
The shrieking.
It's that shriek! That shriek doesn't just hurt ears, it castrates people. How does a shriek do that?
Yeah.
It cuts.
Feel the balls just go just clean off.
Clean off. No remorse. Anyway. So speaking of no remorse, Vince starts talking and he goes on about how because the week before, Roman has had this thing with Vince, and if you've been watching, him and Vince are now finally feuding. Vince has been brought in because Triple H got his ass knocked out weeks prior.
Haven't seen him in a while.
Well, good. Actually, it's a good thing Triple H isn't there, so... Because that had to happen. If Roman didn't go, like, apeshit that show and punch Triple H... The fans are punched and then speared and then punched him again. We was all drooling and shit, getting fucking taken out. I was like, my brother, Kevin was so happy, my brother. And you know, we were so ecstatic watching that moment. But anyway, I'm getting off track. So the Monday, Vince is talking, saying, 29 other superstars are gonna try to take Roman out and they can have a chance. You know, and like nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. Well, and weren't you saying that the fact that the Royal Rumble is to determine the person who gets to go up against the champ at WrestleMania.
So now we have a title defense match at Royal Rumble, which will alter the card if anything happens for WrestleMania for the person who wins the Royal Rumble.
That's kind of ridiculous. But
well, I mean, we are talking about WWE, but that's besides the point.
There's 30 writers for that shit.
30 people in Royal Rumble. One
for each writer.
One for each idiot. So anyway, no, not everyone's an idiot. I mean, the talent is so mixed. Anyway, I'll get into that later on in this. So, Vince is going on, blah, blah, blah. And then Roman comes in.
Smugness.
Actually, no, I don't think he does. Well, anyway, I think either way, what happens is that Stephanie she starts talking. And then she says, like, you know, Roman doesn't have a chance in hell, blah, blah. Well, she doesn't say that literally, but she kind of goes on with emotion. Like, he starts laughing in that dumb fake laugh you have, Steph. Like, I mean, come on.
The witch's cackle.
You know your acting's gotten bad when the divas themselves have started acting better than you, Steph. You are the villain figure or the heel figure of, you know, wrestling, but yet the divas can act better than you, and they're like mid cards. And they're mid cards pretty much. Like everyone argues that divas are never like main eventers, and you know there's one or two matches, a really shitty divas match or it was a really good divas match.
Which most of the time they're pretty shitty.
Most of the time, because they got no rest.
But that being said, most of the time that those matches are shitty. Most of the times, the other matches are shitty too.
Anyway, we're just we're ripping off everything at once here. We're getting off topic because this Raw was special, and you're gonna know exactly what I mean when I say this. After the whole big get together, I think it was Dean Ambrose and Sheamus, because Sheamus came out during the group of people during the whole introduction, and Steph was like, "Yeah, first match tonight will be Dean," and then boom, Dean gets knocked out by Sheamus. Versus Sheamus. Oh, there he is, right on time. Yeah, okay.
So I love Dean.
Yeah, about Dean Ambrose, like the guy's a fucking walking punching bag. The guy can do so much to himself and then just walk away. Like, all right, where's Renee? By the way, we know, but actually, you know what? They look great together. Honestly, I'm happy for them. So, I'm glad. It's kind of shitty that they can't bring that into an angle and make it a story thing.
It would be good.
But then again, there's a lot of people that they're wrestlers themselves. They're given the dumbest story, but the way they actually are as a real person, they have a better backstory. Mm-hmm. And they could be.
Well, that's why the wrestlers should write their own.
They used to. I swear, like in the Attitude Era, it was like that. Like Stone Cold was known as a beer drinking guy. Like, and he liked like at least they kept it logical. Yeah. Like now it's just illogical. They like random things. Like, New Day. But anyway, I'm getting too sidetracked here. So. Dean Ambrose, Sheamus match. It was an average match. I mean, I'm not going to say anything that... It was nothing new, nothing...
Sheamus got cut open, though.
Oh, well, Sheamus was fighting with a stitched-up forehead that was courtesy of... I think it was Roman. Roman smashed him just through a pole the week prior, and he got stitches. It was either on the SmackDown and the Raw before this one we're talking about.
I thought it was in this one.
No.
I thought that was from Dean.
Was it from Dean?
Yeah, because then Kevin Owens came in at the end, and Sheamus was all bloody.
Oh, and maybe that was
beating him up.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the night
that
off.
was a fair amount of blood.
So anyway, Sheamus is already stitched up from already being bludgeoned, or whatever you call it, cut opened anyway. So yeah, Kevin Owens interferes that match, and it ends on a disqualification.
Yeah, or
count out disqualification. It's one or the other, really. Yeah. Like it's never a clean win. Although Neville won clean against Kevin Owens in that one match there. I think it was that week before. It was like a minute and a half match, not even, and he won with a fucking counter pin, and I was just like, yes, fuck you. And that was actually when our friend Trent was watching wrestling with us, and he was like, oh, I like Kevin Owens, and I'm like, I like Neville, and then just Neville wins, and I'm like, yeah, I was so happy.
Trent likes the heels.
Trent likes heel wrestlers. I used to like heel wrestlers too. There are some you can like, and heels can be done right. But Triple H, I'm talking to you when I say this. The heels can't always win.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. I'm not the only one who said this either. I watch other people talk about wrestling, and they say the exact same thing. And Triple H, when other people are saying the same thing, you might want to actually look into it. So anyway...
Pay attention to the fans? Who would
it's funny that you say that because they do, but then they just spit in the fans' faces half the time. Or they kind of just give like a cold shoulder smirk to the fans. Like, it's actually funny because Vince does it too. Like, how would you guys like to see a world heavyweight champion? Not tonight. No, he's like, you guys fall for that one every time. It's like, see, he's funny.
Fuck you.
Oh, you fucker. It's like, you tricked us. But anyway, so moving on, after the Dean Ambrose match, I think this was when Chris Jericho showed up. And we got to hear the countdown and Jericho's big entrance. I'm a big of a Jericho-holic. I liked him when I was watching before.
He's got the fucking best jacket.
I wonder how much those jackets individually cost, or like to maintain them, or like to get them fashioned like that. But the guy comes out looking as good as he always does, usually. I mean, Jericho doesn't do a bad job with that.
And he's good on the mic, too.
Other wrestlers just... If you want to get good on the mic, just kind of just take after Jericho, but not in too much ways that like you're copying him. But, like, that confidence he's got. All of you can do that too. You can. This is only if the writers can let them, or the writing is good enough for them to be this expressive. Because it looked like he came out there and was like, they just gave him free reins.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, Jericho, you worked in the business for 15, 20 years plus. You know what to do out there. You got 10 minutes. Don't waste
fun.
Have fun. Oh, by the way, the New Day will show up. You can talk about them, and you might see someone else too. It'll be a surprise, but I'm sure you can handle it. So anyway, Jericho's doing his Monday or Raw is Jericho, and everyone's losing their like they love it. I mean, they're pretty happy about it, and it's actually funny because this was the I think it was a week before, or yeah, it was a week before Lemmy had died.
No, not before.
Or was it before? Or was it just prior to that Raw?
After.
It was after that Raw.
If this was Monday of this past week.
Oh well, yeah.
Lemmy passed away on the 28th of December.
Okay, yeah. So that first Raw, or it was the second? Yeah, that Raw. Yeah. So Jericho was saying, he actually did a good little commendance to him by actually referencing Lemmy in a way that like made a good statement about how the wrestling is. I think he just did a good job, and I remember you saying you were like, "Oh, I love him." Like you just love how he got that in there.
Yeah, and he did the same thing for Bowie too.
And he did the same thing for Bowie, which I think was SmackDown.
Nope, same.
Oh, it was the same night, yeah, because it was when the New Day showed up, and then he said something about Bowie, which is something else I'm going to add to later on about another wrestler.
He gave both Lemmy and Bowie a nice good dedication just in his little speech.
In his little nod off to making, because at the same time, I think the New Day had interrupted, because the New Day and Jericho have been kind of going at each other, not wrestling, but they've been having a little talk feud here and there. I think Jericho had interrupted them before, and yeah, it was the first Raw of the new year, and New Day was going to do the countdown, and then Jericho's numbers took over that countdown, and he came out and saying, "I'm sorry you had to listen to these jabronis and stuff," and I'm just like, Jericho, welcome back, and hope you get to stay.
Well, yeah, he's going to be in the Royal Rumble, isn't he?
He should, yes, he is.
Yeah.
But I still have doubts of this Royal Rumble. I mean, come on. If you've been following wrestling for the last 2 years, the last 2 Royal Rumbles were shit.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. Especially last year's, with literally the crowd cheering, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And you had The Rock holding up Roman Reigns' arm, and he had why are they sharing bullshit? I'm The Rock. Yeah, Rock, they were not that happy. Even for you. And I know, it says something. So anyway, during the Jericho show, I call it, the New Day came and interrupted, started trying to defend themselves, but then they got the whole Rudy Tooty Booty on them. And then the Usos came out, because the New Day, again, thinks they're the tag teams of the year, but if anybody's going to be the tag team of the year for the Slam, it was the Usos. My second would have been the Dudleys and then the Lucha Dragons, or either one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, especially with the Salido del Sol and the TLC match, that was sick. But anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked. So the Usos came out, and Jericho was kind of with the Usos side because, they were making fun of the New Day. So they had a match. It was the New Day. I think it was Kofi. It was Kofi and Big E versus the two Usos, and then Jericho was at ringside, and Xavier was at ringside with his and barring it up with the trombone, which that has to go.
Jericho broke it. Remember?
He
kind of broke it.
Kinda.
He pulled it
he
apart.
He broke Xavier's spirit, man. Yeah. Xavier, as much as I hate you, you do act pretty good. I mean, I like how you.
As much as I hate
No, Stella! You're just, it was like your love. Do you sleep with that trombone? I was convinced. You lost her, even though he just pulled her out of the slide.
Yeah.
But man, you sold that. So good on you, Xavier. As much as I hate your gimmick right now.
I just don't like the New Day's gimmick at all.
I don't. I mean, I get it too, because they're giving them free reigns. You know how I said with Jericho.
Why are you giving them free reigns and
but
not everybody else?
Well, because some people are really nervous with the mic, and I could give an example with Ryback having times where he had to get better on the mic, and even now he's still a little bit rusty. But he's gotten a lot better since the first time I saw him on the mic.
But you can still
give chances, and I feel like they've given this is why I'm saying the trombone thing has to change. It just has to.
Yeah, it's really
annoying. After this Royal Rumble, and this is a good way. Please, I hope you guys see this, and this is something you can consider. Have Brock just destroy that trombone.
Yeah.
Please. And then Xavier can put on an Emmy clip of just heartbreak. And then the New Day can even have a reason to hate Brock Lesnar because they destroyed the Bard's fucking instrument. Yes, I know you were making MMO references. I played Final Fantasy 2, Xavier.
You're not the only one.
By the way, and I saw your video for giving a shout out for Heaven's Ward. I have that game.
Fight me.
You're probably not even the same server as me, so, Midgar Soromir. There you go. You'd find me. Anyway, So we got the Usos match in. It was a good match. I mean, I like watching the Usos. Like, they do a good job coordinating. Like, they're not the worst thing that has came out of these last few years of the WWE. I mean, Roman is, they're all related. Roman, the Usos, and the Rikishi, and apparently Umaga, but that was JBL. The thing about the commentators, they speak out of their ass so much. And this is nothing. Nice if they actually nothing against you, Brian Saxon. I know you're young. You're just trying to get your paycheck there. No offense, JBL. Too many hits to the head will do that to you. Michael Cole, I don't even know. Have you seen the YouTube poops of you, Michael? You'll like those. But anyway, I don't know. These commentators, they speak out of their ass when they talk about certain wrestlers, and I just try to void them out as much as possible. So, moving on. So, after the Jericho thing, I'm trying to actually remember now what happened. I think... Was it the tag match with the Social Outcasts and the Wyatts? Or was it the Diva match with... that Charlotte was going to fight Brie, and then just Becky came in and just... Oh, and by the way, Becky, I love you. I love you as much as I love Paige. And Charlotte, you're okay too.
No.
I really wish... No, listen, this is something I have to...
Becky and Paige.
They're nice, but I'm not picking... I mean, all the divas can be good if they just tried, and they actually had more practice, I feel like. It's like they're not getting enough time to train, it feels like. So anyway... yeah, like, with Charlotte, that fucking... Woo! It says wood!
Yeah.
Your 1-O looks like a D, and no, not because it's on your boob. Just something about that top. You gotta change that. Look, you can still do the woo. You can still have the theme. Hell, even Ric Flair can come out with you. Just don't have them interfere.
Change your shirt.
Just stop making it say wood. It's the same thing with Becky. Becky, last kicker. I don't know if Spoonie will ever seen this, but it was because of him that I see ass liquor. I hate it. Because Becky, why would you... I mean, it's actually pretty cool. I actually like her shirt. I get it. Last kicker, she kicks... See? I can't even say it. She kisses asses. She kicks lasses in the asses. Okay, moving on. So it was, that match was kind of it was just ended quickly. And then I think Ric Flair came and was like, Charlotte's not gonna wrestle, she got beaten up by Becky, she's a victim. I'm like, Ric Flair, you're the master of, like, walking off bullshit like this.
You're drunk.
Oh, yeah, he's shh. Can't mention that too much about poor little Rick. Oh yeah!
Poor little Rick.
Anyway, no, that match ended quickly, so, Divas... Apparently that night, I guess for all the women who wanted to see a Divas match, well, you got nothing. Except for Becky just looking awesome, because Becky is an angel sent from the gods of... Where Paige came from, too, I'm kidding. No, they're all nice, I'm sure.
Since Paige hasn't been around.
Where are you, Paige? I miss you. Oh, well. We
miss your house.
I miss being at your house. It is yours, after all. I'm not going to object against that. So, then the next match was the Wyatts versus that new group.
The Social Outcasts.
You actually kind of like them a little bit.
Except for Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas can go suck a tailpipe.
Bo Dallas, I think you need to go back to NXT and work out a bit. You got a bit of You've been eating a little bit too much. I'm not picking on you. I care about your physique. I care about that you believe.
And you look like you're wearing a diaper. Like
you should change your tight color.
Yeah.
Maybe black. Just anything but white.
And put a shirt on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Get the tone back, then you can do your marathon run without me seeing you going... Like, if I played you in slow-mo, you'd have some flab. Not to say that... Not all wrestlers have a big of meat, whatever.
But yeah, the Social Outcasts, I think they're... I don't know, I kind of like it.
Well, I mean, it's not the worst idea that they've thought of, but it's definitely just one that they drew out of a hat.
Oh, well, yeah. It's because they haven't... Those guys haven't been doing anything.
None of them have clicked, and especially because
they need more tag teams if they're gonna have this tag team division.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm surprised in the Social Outcast. Why isn't Damian Sandow in there? I know since his Mizdow thing. Yeah, what has he done? But
But like,
he's an outcast.
Even are they even classified as in the tag team?
No.
because there's 4?
That's the thing. And that's where I'm getting confused with this whole, like...
Because the New Day's got 3.
No, but this is something I gotta bring up. When they don't know a match or a feud to bring up or start with just 2 wrestlers going like at it for some reason, like example Ryback and Rusev, they had reasons to have a one-on-one because of Lana. Doesn't matter if it was bad.
Yeah.
With these tag matches, you have like they did it with Neville and Sheamus and Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose. They would just tag them up and have.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Look, I get it. Neville and Dean are actually probably great buds, but it's
like when they did the Dudley Boys and like Tommy Dreamer and
Rhino, and they couldn't. You know what? They couldn't even get Rhino. I swear, because I watched Botchamania, and there was a lot of times that they just couldn't remember Rhino, and I know why. Because Rhino, they treated Rhino like shit, and in fact, he looks great now because apparently he doesn't drink anymore, so that's good. And Tommy Dreamer. I don't know why he's helping the Dudleys. They were... I don't know. I'm not. There's so many reasons why that doesn't work, and I'm sure you could list 10 in the comments.
The Wyatts aren't in the tag team division, right?
No.
So
they're just a group. That
doesn't make sense.
I know. That's the thing. Like, you have these groups that aren't divisionized as tag, but they're just there to cause chaos or whatever they decide to do, whatever. And that's why you have... Well, I mean, with the Wyatts, you can do groups like that aren't tagged, but then you have to have someone that can carry that and make the feuds last long.
Yeah.
If you have groups like the Social Outcasts coming up against the Wyatts are going to be made look like jokes because they're fighting idiots. Mm-hmm. And the Outcast guys are never going to have anything in the future because they're just, like I said, they're just throwing them in tags and saying, well, we should just have them go at it because, hey, we can't think of anything. We're the writers. We don't get paid enough. WWE.
Yeah, so the Social Outcasts are Heath Slater, Bo Dallas,
Curtis Axel,
and fucking Adam Rose.
Adam Rose!
Who I think looks like Jeff Goldblum.
He looks like a pretty Jeff Goldblum. if you had like a lip job and
longer hair.
Yeah, like curled hair.
A little bit
skinnier. I think his hair's like permed.
It could be.
Like, fuck.
I like Adam Rose, though. I don't know why.
Maybe it's just because he has fun with his character.
Maybe.
And that's sad because, again, if that's him being himself, then that's good. But if it's the writers giving him that character, then, well, man, he's literally having tormented fun. They're tormenting him, and they're like, I have fun with that character, Adam. Okay. Remember, this is the same guy who had a group of people following him going... So
Wyatt's won that match? Yes? No?
Of course they did. They made the Outcasts look like they were literally the Outcast.
True.
From anything. They just... A bunch of outcast wrestlers that had nothing good going for them. But that's the thing, the Wyatts are not even... Yeah, the new face of fear.
Huh.
The new face of beard. The new face of weird.
This is my swamp.
There's nothing about them that makes me feel like, oh man, I'm
scared of them.
I'd be scared going up against them.
Yeah.
It's like how the Dudley Boys extreme. It's like how the Dudley Boys treat them. They're just like another group of guys that think they can they're hard as fuck.
Yeah.
And I really hate how it's been the Dudley Boys who were kind of pushing them to make them look out to be harder to beat. Like, that's the thing with the Wyatts. They just get these group of guys that get randomly paired up against them, and then the Wyatts destroy, or they barely can destroy, because Braun Strowman is an uncoordinated piece of meat. If I have to put subtitles for those who didn't get that, it was, "Rawr, I am the new face of destruction." But yeah, it's that bad. And it's like they had a match. You know, everyone remembered the Undertaker, Kane versus the Wyatt family, and that was supposed to make them look fearful, and they lost. And where's the carry? Where's the bill? Where's their stats increase? You would call it if they, leveled up. So anyway, we're getting really depressed now because of that Wyatt thing and the Social Outcast. Moving on. Fuck, I'm actually losing my track here. That Monday was a bit scathing after that. I was really...
Kalisto and Del Rio.
Oh my god, no. We're getting to this now?
Yeah.
So this started from Kalisto... No, so wait, no. This is actually John Cena somehow we're going to start off with. Because John Cena Shows up.
Came back,
and everyone's like, yeah. Do. Please fucking leave. Do something else. Make new superstars.
You're not the underdog anymore.
You're not anything. You're not a hero. You're not a heel. You're just there. And that's okay.
No, he's not. You can't see me.
Man, I hope you stop those kids' cancer, man. Anyway. So John Cena came out the SmackDown prior to this Raw. And was trying to actually get Del Rio to come out for some unknown reason. I guess to try to build him up in some way.
Oh, no, wasn't he challenging him?
He was trying to...
Put your title on the line.
It was the first SmackDown of the new year, and they wanted to see Kalisto come out and do something good. I think that's what it was. John Cena was like, "Come on, let's get Del Rio out here. It's New Year. Let's see something crazy happen." And Del Rio comes out, and he's like, "Hello, John Cena. I ain't falling for your crap and shit and blah 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 Mexican. Insert subtitles here. I'm not trying to be mean to the Mexican wrestlers. I mean, I like Kalisto. I like the Lucha Dragons. Why is it that I can cheer for them, but then look at Del Rio and it's like, shit! He's so bad!
Suck.
And I heard from our buddy Trent that Del Rio came from
Lucha Underground not too long ago. Awesome.
Which is awesome!
But
why'd you leave?
Not.
He had a different persona down there.
Yeah.
He just couldn't handle the intensity, apparently. And so, let's go back to safe WWE, eh?
Yeah. Where you left.
Where he actually, he actually left on an okay note. Del Rio apparently he was like a 4-time champ.
Yeah, but there was a bunch of like racial shit that.
He was going
that's
on
why
when he
left.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, let's just go back.
Come back to the company that's more racist than anything. Yeah, we're not racist. Vince says with shifty eyes. Yeah. So this champion match. Okay, no, I forgot to make my statement about Del Rio. Like. That's the thing with this guy. Like, okay, he's got these move sets that...
His finisher you can see from a mile away.
It's like, you know how you can hear trains coming down a track? That's his move! Yeah. You can hear it and have so much time to react.
But they never do!
Oh, because they're paid not
Except for Kalisto.
Anyway... So, Del Rio, he had the whole Mex America, don't want to go nowhere because they're lazy, and Zeb Coulter. Jeb. So anyway, moving that all aside, John Cena built up this match to get Del Rio to get his, open challenge up. To go up against someone.
Yeah, because that was one thing that I liked about Cena is that
he was trying to make the belt look like it was worth something. Like, hey, come get my belt. It's great. I'm putting it up every week. Come on, strike while the gold's rich, or whatever. And so Del Rio's like, all right, I'll fight anybody in the roster except you, Cena. And then who else comes out? Who comes out to challenge Del Rio? Fucking Kalisto. And I'm like, yeah, little Kalisto who won the Slammy and he's going to win the U.S. title. Fuck yeah. And sure enough, that match on Thursday, he won it, so he got a number one contender. So this Raw, they had a match. It was an official title match, and it was a big thing. So it was a long match.
And it was awesome.
For most of it, Kalisto put on a great show. Even
Del Rio. Always.
Del Rio wasn't this bad Monday. He took the loss the way he the best he could. And honestly, Del Rio, you should have stayed lost.
Yes.
But yeah, the match was good. Kalisto, again, the thing about the Lucha Dragons is that, this is why, with Sin Cara, he got his arm injured. Yeah. So they're trying to push Kalisto by himself. And this is actually great. I'm glad that they're doing this title thing with Del Rio. It even gives Del Rio a chance to have a thing if he doesn't kill it. So we gotta save this for Thursday. But anyway, that match ended. So Kalisto was the champ Monday.
It was awesome.
It felt great.
It was. We were actually happy
with the Divas match not going through. We were happy that match lasted as long as it did, and it was an okay match. So,
but that's been the first time in quite a while that we've left after watching Raw.
Was that the last match too?
I think so.
Yeah,
it was the title match, so it probably was.
Usually, it was the main event. Yeah,
but that's the first time in a while since we've been watching.
I think it was since Hell in a Cell.
And been,
That wasn't too bad. I'm not out of energy from all the sighing and of all the face palming and from all the obsessive commercials.
Thursday was different stories.
So
SmackDown was a fucking piss off.
All right, so we're done Monday. All right. So Monday Night Raw was a so-so show, and they can be like that as long as you walk away with good energy and a bit of an up and down roller coaster fun. So moving to Thursday Night SmackDown, which actually started off pretty good. Dean Ambrose came out and had the Intercontinental belt, kicked that belt away, run.
But I'm glad that Dean has it.
Yeah, if anyone's going to make that belt look like it's worth something,
it's going to be Dean.
It's got to be Dean now. So, because
Kevin Owens wasn't doing anything with it.
Kevin Owens was feeding his family with that belt, so I'm sorry, Kevin, if that's all you were doing then. Oh, yeah, you probably want to punch me out for saying this, but yeah, you can't just have that as your story. I fight for my family. Yeah, so does Cena.
So do all of them.
So do all of them.
Like,
that's why
it's your job.
That's called a job. 1 + 1 = 2.
You're not special because you're Canadian.
Yeah, French Canadian, buddy. Okay, you know English. Was it Canadian French, which isn't real French apparently. So there you go. Est-ce que je peux aller aux toilettes, Owens? If that's your real name.
That's not. We know that.
We're not going to get into that anyway. So, SmackDown started. So Dean Ambrose was out. I forgot how he.
Well, he challenged Kevin to a last man standing.
Yeah. Well, he was kind of going on about how the Royal Rumble was going to be some show. Like he was going to be like, man, it's going to be quite the show. Hey, man, it's going to be intense. But we know we need more with that. It's a last man standing match. Yeah. You know, and if there's one person that's up for that, it's Dean. And he was all. And then he's like, Kevin, you're going to fucking fight me like that. And.
But then Sheamus came out.
And then Sheamus came out because apparently Sheamus thinks his name is Kevin. And he started talking
to him. I mean, he did get hit pretty hard in the head.
He must have because, he shows up and starts trying to make Dean out as like, oh, you're old news, Dean. Yeah, I'm Sheamus. I don't look stupid. And people started cheering that. Not even like
Why did he even come out?
I'm trying to figure that. Because of that tag match.
Because he got his head.
Because
he split his head open.
They're trying to just make it like Sheamus helps the heels in a tag match because he was paired up with Kevin Owens. Because when Sheamus was out shit-talking Dean, Kevin finally came out like he should have. Was supposed to, first. Like he, and then Kevin Owens started saying like pretty much what Dean wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to fight you. On that Royal Rumble, it's going to be a bloodbath.
You're not going to leave the ring.
Yada, 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 yada. Heel talk, yada, yada, yada. Heel talk. I learned it all from Triple H.
Drop the mic.
So, my God, yeah. And you stated this. So Dean was so good. That's why I liked when Dean came out first. He did so good, and he dropped the mic, and then, Sheamus came out, and I was like, how's he going to top that? Dean's dropped mic and everything. Sheamus never dropped the mic.
No.
But then Kevin
comes out.
And after he said his boring.
And he dropped the mic. And I was like, you can't drop the mic after it's already been dropped.
The mic has been
dropped. I'm sorry. That's not a thing.
It's the rule of awesomeness. And you're... When the second person drops the mic...
You look like a goof.
No, you look like the goof who did it.
Yeah.
But then you just killed all the momentum from the first mic drop.
Yeah.
So...
And was there a match there?
Yeah.
No,
that happened later that night.
That was the last match.
It was near the end of that show, SmackDown, because they started off with them just scuffling, and then I guess they got Neville to come in and be the tag partner for Dean against Kevin Owens and Sheamus.
And was that a title match?
No, there was no titles. Dean wasn't putting anything on, not in a tag match like that.
No, there were 3 main events.
Yes, there was.
That was a main event, though.
That was because
okay.
They just called it a main event. The other main event, there was 3, and I don't remember the other one.
It was the Dudleys and the Wyatts.
Oh yeah, which I think was next.
Which was next.
So
the tables match.
And the commentator, this new commentator guy who replaced Michael, or the one guy who was before Michael on SmackDown. I can't get your name, buddy. I'm sorry if I. Kevin Owens called you Four Eyes.
So we're just gonna call you Four Eyes.
So that's your nickname
until we learn it.
Until we care enough to get your name pronounced. Smiling Brian Saxton. Who just sits there and
Brian. It's because he's sitting.
They give him nothing.
He's sitting with 2 people that are
fucking messed in the head.
Stupid, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm getting paid for this. Might as well just sit
and the
smile.
thing is when he tries to say anything that builds up a wrestler's like story,
the other one
JBL just shits on it.
I hate JBL so
Even
much.
when Michael tries to, and this is where, and I remember seeing a Botch Mania where Michael like threw the fucking paper and he's like, "Fuck it, we're doing it live," and it's like, yeah, like JBL, man, you gotta fucking get your.
He needs to leave.
He just needs to stop.
They need commentators that will actually commentate. You know, announce the fucking moves.
And we get it,
that are being
JBL.
said.
You're a heel commentator, but when that's not working because you're too old, then you gotta stop.
Yeah.
This is why when people cheered to Undertaker, "You still got it," he still got it. JBL,
you don't scots it.
You don't scots it anymore. Okay?
Go home and watch wrestling from the comfort of your couch.
He has such a worried look on his face sometimes, JBL, and it's like, you're like a puppy who peed on the carpet.
Yeah, the tables match.
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot what we were talking about. Yeah, tables match with the Dudley boys versus the not Wyatt family. Yeah, because Bray Wyatt wasn't in this match.
It was Luke Harper and
Eric Rowan. Which,
Rowan.
by the way, yes, I know Eric Rowan is a winemaker. I figured that out from someone, which is interesting. Why doesn't he just stick to that?
Yeah. Why does he gotta be with the Wyatts?
If anything, he can just be his own wrestler as someone else.
Yeah.
Why
the winemaker. And spell it as wine as I'm gonna make you wine.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna break your limbs.
Your tears are gonna fill this wine glass. Yeah. From all the whining.
Yeah.
Wow, we just thought of that on the spot. Ugh. So anyway, this match was one of the because we got to the commentators when we mentioned this. They were one of them was saying this is like the first ever tables match in like 4 years. I'm like, what?
Because it was a main event.
Oh wait,
it was a main event tables match.
I just assumed that every tables match was a main event.
Apparently not.
Again, this is WWE just trying to like write shit over
Make it sound like they're doing something.
Make it sound like they're paying attention to their product. Yeah. Anyway,
so the Dudleys won.
It was an average match too. Like I liked watching it. I like the Dudley Boys. Yeah. They're my favorite tag. But as much as they botched their shit, the Wyatts don't make it look any better.
Well, they're like a lot of the wrestlers who just they don't
do
anything. Like they don't have moves because
they don't have new moves.
They can't do them.
They can't. Well, they're not allowed to try anything new to change it up every show because they're going with a very safe formula every week when these wrestlers go at it. Like it's only like people like Neville who will really risk their neck
or Kalisto.
Yeah, that goes without saying. Any high
fly,
Cesaro, even Dean Ambrose,
Cesaro.
Oh my God, yeah, and Cesaro's out.
Yeah.
You know, I love when people are so fearful for John Cena's injuries. I'm more fearful for a wrestler who hasn't even had a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
Cesaro, had they given him anything? No. Remember what Vince did to him. We're gonna forget that apparently. Just like how they forget a lot of wrestlers and don't mention names like CM Punk and stuff. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Like they're tenacious like that. So the tables match was good.
Yeah, the Dudleys won.
But then the Wyatts again. You know what?
Heel.
Yeah, because they're heels and they're a group of fearful hillbillies. If they don't get their way, they'll rape you like they raped their pigs. I'm sorry I said that, but you know what I mean? Like, they could have lost clean for once, and it would have made sense because Bray Wyatt wasn't with them.
Yeah.
The leader of the herd wasn't with them, and the Dudleys finally got one past them, and they just let it go because cleanness. And by the way, I think we forgot something amazing about Monday Night Raw.
What?
Brock Lesnar.
Ah, shit.
I know. Well, we'll get to that at the very end. We'll finish up SmackDown. We'll recap Monday's little last moment with Brock Lesnar because that's worth mentioning individually. So we're almost done SmackDown. So Dudley's match, it was okay. It wasn't bad. Nothing to write home about. So next match was the Divas match. Becky Lynch versus Brie. And this is where I say it's been just Charlotte versus Brie, Becky versus Brie, Tamina versus Alicia. Just there's like 9 wrestlers of the Divas division, and they're not doing anything with Sasha Banks.
And 2 of them are out right now.
Well, yeah, 2 of them are out. Yeah.
Paige isn't around, and
Paige and Nikki are nowhere to be seen. Yeah, and everyone wants Sasha, but apparently she's carrying 2 wrestlers who don't need to be carried. Like Naomi and Tamina needs work, but Naomi as an independent wrestler she'd be able to handle herself just fine. Like her and Natalia, who's with
Brie.
Not Brie. Oh, I can't remember his name. He's injured right now, and he was Cesaro's tag partner. Tyson Kidd. Natty's married, with Tyson Kidd, but Natty can handle herself by herself. She, they had like a thing with Paige there again, for a few weeks. But yeah, like let Sasha be like Becky and Charlotte by herself.
Be on their own. They should all be on their own.
Because they're ready.
Yeah.
She carried NXT as well as she could, and no, let's have her let's have her still in Team Bad because the Divas Revolution's still going. Which, by the way, Steph was a joke.
A little bit.
And I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be sexist here.
This match was good.
Yeah, like
the one with
Bree's actually getting good at taking hits now because she's been like in 10 matches in the last few weeks. So yeah,
and Becky won.
And Becky won with a good submission, submission. Del Rio.
We'll get to that, you piece of shit.
Yeah, because this is next. So yeah, I'm not going to say anything more or less about Brie and Becky because you know what? With the way they're trying to carry the Divas, it's better than some of the male wrestlers carrying.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is the example right here with Del Rio and fucking Kalisto. So yeah, like most heel wrestlers, when they lose their title, they reinvoke their claws the show right after. So in other words, Kalisto had his belt for
4 nights?
3 days? 3 days and 4 nights?
Not even.
Give or take?
Not even.
We deducted hours.
Like, you got Monday night, you got Tuesday night, you got Wednesday night.
And depends how many shows he even did with the belt in his possession. Yeah, so anyway. This match was garbage.
Horse shit.
Like, when we went to it, we were assuming that, yes, it was going to be a long match because title matches always are.
I didn't think he was going to fucking lose it.
I had no idea Kalisto was... Like, I really was under the impression that, because actually halfway through the fight, King Barrett showed up. Which was weird. He showed up during a commercial break, and there's something I want to say about King Barrett, too. Yeah, he needs
a new...
Trent Muxlow knows a lot about his real character, King Barrett, which that should be his story. But they're not going to go with that because they want, boom, King Barrett. And I've got some bad news for you, even though I'm a king. So I'm a messenger, apparently, too. So anyway... I know, we just can't when we get so angry at these wrestlers. So the match kind of goes...
It's like, why do we even watch it?
Because I want to care. I want to see them... It's sad that I want to say that I want WWE to have good matches and do it right. Because other companies that I don't even want to mention. Because
Underground.
Literally, WWE believes that they're the only competitor. Yeah. No, you're not. There are... groups that do other wrestling, they might not be as big as you. You are the biggest product, but you're the biggest joke as that product, like as your own product. You should actually mention Lucha Underground and maybe, and you know what? So and get your NXT. Your NXT, man. Like, I don't understand how you make NXT look so good, and then you have the WWE and the SmackDown, like Raw and SmackDown look so shit. Because when I was little me, I remember when Raw and SmackDown were just decent. SmackDown was always like the odd one. Like it was 2-hour show. It's never as good as the good 3-hour show Raw, which again is a very long time. It's too long with too many commercials and shit. And I can't get over how many commercials they try to ram down our throats, especially during matches. Oh. Fuck off,
please.
Do it between the matches and hell, cut out even during fucking feud dialogues. I don't even care. Just not during fights. Just because you guys can't keep the match up.
It's not even on the network.
Yeah.
When we go down, we fucking watch it on the score.
We're Canadians and we play. My brother pays $11.99 and we want to watch Raw and SmackDown on the network.
But it's not even on the network.
You got NXT on there, which makes no sense because it's like you want to carry NXT, but then you want to get that out there too. They don't know what they're doing. So anyway, speaking of they don't know what they're doing, Del Rio had no idea what the fuck he was doing this whole match. Kalisto was... I guess they were trying to make it like Kalisto was supposed to be struggling against Del Rio because he finally was starting to catch on to some of his moves. But you know what Del Rio was doing? Just botching everything. And you know what? It's bad that he can botch worse than Sin Cara in some cases because, Sin Cara is Kalisto's tag partner. But Del Rio, man, take some training. Just go for a month. Yeah, leave. Come back when you're ready to do a real...
Come back. Just leave.
Just don't come back. Yeah, whatever.
Because, and I know like you've mentioned this to me, and like because I haven't been watching wrestling for all that long, but
I got you into it.
Yeah, but like
I feel so bad
with someone like, no, okay, I'm getting all jumbled up. When you hurt somebody, okay, to emphasize that you hurt their leg or
when
something.
You got a good hit on their leg, we're gonna work with that injury,
and then you sell that, and you kind of do like.
Some good hits that make them go, and
okay, so all part of the show, right? What pissed me off about fucking was it last night? No, it wasn't last
Thursday,
night. Thursday night was...
We're recording this on Sunday, by the way, so...
Del Rio, like, botched some move on Kalisto.
Well, what happened was,
hurt his shoulder.
He was doing like an outer ring move, and I think he just threw him out onto the ground, the mat, and he just like Sin Cara... He landed.
Yeah, like he didn't land good.
By the way, Biggie, fuck you for hurting Sin Cara that bad. If we had hurt your arm like that, Biggie, you wouldn't even be wrestling for like a month. Which, by the way, I think Sin Cara has almost been gone for about a month. So there you go.
Yeah. So like he hurt him, right?
Yeah.
And so he went through and he did the selling and
that's fine.
That's okay.
Fine and dandy.
But not when you keep doing it. Like that's the only thing you do. I'm just gonna target that one fucking shoulder. That's all I'm gonna do for the rest of the match.
And there's ways to just not always be targeting the arm, but you can do other moves. Like since Del Rio's a big guy, like he could be doing suplexes and stuff that doesn't just attack the arm, that just wears them out.
Yeah. And then at the end, when he finally got fucking Kalisto to
I think Del Rio did like 3 arm bars, and by the third arm bar...
that third arm bar, how he fucking jumped back and slammed down.
He actually
actually, like... At that point, like I actually think Kalisto's shoulder was actually hurting him a fair bit. So that was just insult to injury, just fucking slamming down like that into that armbar because he tapped instantly. It wasn't like I'm a whole on.
And those
for a
last
few
2
minutes.
arm bars, and I think the first one, you can tell when they're always going to break out when they're doing the submission in a corner section of the ring.
Yeah.
If they're in the center, they have a hell of a time getting to the rope. But with those 2 submissions, they were trying to work with the arm of Kalisto. I think by the second armbar, they got King Barrett to distract the ref.
Yeah.
So Del Rio, you're trying to say that you're a good wrestler, and they're not even carrying the League of Nations angle now,
no.
Because King Barrett wasn't even in there for some of it when it first started. He was there when they assembled it, but then there was like a week where he wasn't even there. It was just Rusev, Sheamus, and Del Rio. End this League of Lulz, League of Legends. Fuck off! Riot Games called. They want their League of name back. Holy shit!
But that final armbar on Kalisto,
that's when I was just like, I'm done watching. And thank God it was the last fucking fight of the night.
And but it's just like. Because most of the time with a submission, there's a bit of time in between before if they tap where they tap.
Well, there's even moments between each attempt of the submission that wrestler who's going to get into that does something really good to get out of it, or can just keep the match going in a way that you're still believing that man.
But Kalisto tapped instantly. Yeah. Like it was right away, and that makes me think, fuck, like Burrito actually hurt his fucking arm.
So since this is recorded on Sunday, we're gonna be watching Monday tomorrow, and we're hoping that Kalisto. And I swear to God, because they already uploaded the clip of how did he win the title so easily from Kalisto?
Because he's shit.
Because you were getting a ham job from King Barrett. There, I said it.
Because your writers said it was so.
Yeah, Vince was telling you to do that. But anyway. Getting off SmackDown, not literally, but when we were done watching it, we were leaving and walking back. We wanted to record the night of on that Thursday and actually get Monday and Thursday fresh. But now we're on Sunday, and this is how pissed off we were.
Yeah.
With that, it took us this long to record it and finally get this off our chest. So, this is literally just something to the WWE writers. Just, you can put a bit more brain into it.
Yeah. There's 30 of you.
And yes, I know you're trying not to offend people.
Grow a pair of balls.
Here's one way to look at it. Can't please the whole world.
No.
In fact, you guys said it. You also said this once. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Well, that's actually a good thing to go off with. It's a good mentality. It means you're always trying, even if you are trying something dirty. But when you're writing, is that it's not even that. You don't try that hard. then your writing is just bad.
It's just
in
bad.
fact, I don't know what's. I just don't know what's worse. Like the fact that there are fan fictions of like animes and Sonic fan fictions that can be written better than half the shit that WWE comes up with as an angle for a story. But anyway,
Brock.
Yeah, sorry that we missed that during this whole video. We skipped the last thing in Monday there before we got to SmackDown.
Yeah, because it was a last man standing match, wasn't it?
Okay, so yeah,
Vince's one versus all match.
Well, this is why I got confused, because at the beginning of that Monday, when Vince was trying to like make all the wrestlers look like, oh, anybody could be the champion, then he does the one versus all match, and I'm like,
it was actually just.
Well, actually, it said no. Remember what it said when they brought up the card and all
Vince
the
McMahon.
Vince McMahon's version of a one versus all match.
So it was Kevin Owens, Tyler Breeze, and Sheamus.
And the New Day. The New Day came in.
No, they were all the only people that Roman fought though.
Yeah, were the New Day, Tyler Breeze, Sheamus, and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, and then.
Well, we're jumping all around in this match. It started off so Vince comes down. All right, wrestlers, come on out, and they all came in, and then Roman comes in, and Vince chose Kevin as the first person to start. And I immediately was under the assumption that they weren't all going to stand at the corner. I actually thought it was going to be like a lumberjack match, but where they all stand around. But nope. Who was out there? It was, so Kevin was 1v1 with Roman, and the people in the corner were like, we had the Ascension, we had Stardust, which, by the way, Stardust, I'm glad you dedicated your lightning bolt to David Bowie. You're awesome. My heart goes out to Dusty Rhodes. I mean, that must have been a heartful loss for you, and yeah, my heart goes out to you. You were out there, Stardust. Who was out? I already said the Ascension, New Day, the Wyatts, and Tyler Breeze. Who? And I think just a few others.
He's a wrestler?
Yeah, I thought he was a supermodel. But anyway, So in other words, Vince had picked the worst group of people to fend off against Roman, so you knew immediately that this was weird. And not to mention, they did like a scene before all this had even started where it was Paul Heyman and Steph. Yeah. Actually, this was a good scene. I liked it because Paul Heyman, you're such a treat to watch sometimes, Paul. Or I like to call you Lol Yeaman. I'm surprised Stephanie didn't slap you in the face with the way you kind of were like...
Up in her face.
Oh, like, woohoo, bitch! I'm just like... I was like, woohoo, Steph, you got that. You got your knibbles. And, so they made a good emphasis that Brock was going to come out, but not just yet. We got to have Kevin Owens ruffle up Roman. But then he came out. Eventually. But that was the thing, like, the whole match was under this assumption that Roman would have been fighting everyone. Oh, yeah. Then Brock would come in and just clear house.
That was the funny thing, too, is that match started and there was, like, 5 minutes left in the...
Oh, yeah, Vince... Yeah, it was, like, TV time. They were going to buy, like, an extra 10 minutes of airtime again.
It's like, how are you going to fight all of them in, like, 5 minutes? Yeah. Or even 20 minutes?
Exactly. It was pretty bad.
You were pretty sure something was going to happen, and it did.
And very clusterfucky. Like, as much as Brock... I love when Brock kills and suplexes people.
Yeah. I love that belly.
But I just don't like him.
That belly-to-belly suplex on Sheamus.
Oh, that he did to Sheamus, and the one he did to Big E. I wish he would have hurt Big E more because he deserved his... Oh, and the double clothesline to fucking... Xavier and Kofi. I was like, yeah! I was so happy then because I didn't even give a fuck about how Roman was. I was just like, Brock's out. All right, he's the vacuum cleaner.
Clean up in aisle 4.
He's the vacuum cleaner. They're the dust. Proceed. And so, yeah, Brock Lesnar...
Suplex.
He actually hurt and tormented all the other wrestlers that were against Roman, and Roman got off kind of easy.
Yeah, all he got was an F5.
One.
Yep.
He didn't take him to Suplex City.
No.
He didn't punch him. He didn't do anything he did to John Cena or fucking...
No. One F5.
Yeah. And then just walked out. That's so unlike him because, like...
He's saving it.
Well, I guess he is savoring the Royal Rumble, but usually he walks away and he turns around and he's always like, no, that's not enough. And even Paul's like, one more? For the fans? For me? Like I love when Paul does that with Brock. Like, they do a good job. When the Brock comes and does what he does, he's okay at it. But the fact that they keep him weeks apart, is he still being paid?
Well, yeah, the last time that he was
Hell in the Cell.
was Hell in the Cell.
I think so, yeah.
And that was at the end of October.
Oh, and then I guess, yeah, and then Paul Heyman came out and did like a promo during the Slammies to receive Brock's award. He wasn't even there at the Slammies to do anything. Yeah. And, yeah, so...
And the Wyatts.
Oh my,
They just disappeared.
When Brock was cleaning house, I said to myself, I was like, oh, I can't wait until he suplexes... Wait, where are they?
Where'd they go?
And they ran with their tails between their fucking legs.
Back to their swamp.
Going back to Master Wyatt, gonna go kiss his palms. What the fuck they do behind him? Oh, Wyatts are garbage. Right. Anyway.
Alright.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
I'm still alive.
We're done.
Let me check my pulse.
We'll see you later.
We're just gonna...
See you next time. You can't see.
Just ignore him. Anyways, thank you so much for letting us...
For listening to us fucking rant for the last however long.
We seriously can't keep track of how long these take, so...
No, there's no timer.
For those who sit here and watch this with us, and like, you know, because we watch these ourselves, and we want others to see us, what we experience and how we feel about it, and so... If you watch the whole thing, good on you. And we'll see you next time on another wrestling vlog, or any vlog. Just stay tuned. And hopefully the next wrestling show won't be as bad as this.
But it probably will be.
Fingers crossed? No? What, knock on wood? No? Wait, what? Anyway, you got wooden head?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Give us a like.
And
subscribe.
Yeah. You know, all that fun jazz, alright?
And
give us your thoughts. Also, you can also like tell us if we missed anything, but then again, I think we covered everything.
And we covered what we wanted to talk about.
Exactly. So good night, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time. See you later.
Ya. I think I got cancer.
John Cena, cure my cancer. Counting down. 5.
There's a fly.
Oh, that better not be in our video.
It's on the controller.
You know, it's on the triangle button.
Get it.
I can.
Get it.
With what?
Eat it.
Like you did?
That was so fucking gross.
That was.
It was all spiny, and I thought it was a fucking piece of chocolate. How?
Oh, that was...
It was dark. Not really dark, but like...
It was chocolate-sized. Alright. God damn it. I know, right? Thanks, Ty.
Let me finish this so I'm not fucking sucking on
an already almost finished sucker. Well, hurry up. I don't want you to bite it. Okay. Jesus. Crunch. Oh, the flies from above you!